What at present concerns you the most? And what at present inspires you the most? Wide open. You want to start?
Huge question.
Well, being healthy is very important, you know, very important now. I mean, well, when I was younger, I didn't think it. I mean, well, you don't take it for granted, but that's the number one. I wouldn't be able to be in this band, you know, if with all the traveling that we do. That's a priority, being healthy, which means staying fit, eating well, you know, and trying to get enough rest. You know, that's what it's, that for me, and you know, I mean, and you're always sort of starting to question things as well about why, you know, what's the meaning of everything, why are we doing everything, and what's it all about. And you know, I've started to look at things a little bit more. I'm trying to understand what it is, you know. And of lately, a great movie that you probably know, you know, What the Bleep Do We Know?
Oh yeah.
You know, well, that's a great one. Recommend that. What the Bleep Do We Know? You know, it was just, you know, into quantum physics, starting to think about why, what, you know, religion. What has that got to do with, you know, like?
No, I know.
I don't want to get into things, right? Okay, but I mean,
Well, after the show, we can continue this.
Yeah.
I'd
Okay.
love
I mean,
to.
we could.
But
you know.
religion is you're trying to, well, given what's going on with the Catholic Church and what's going on with...
Well, you could start to go in there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
But I mean, God is in us all, isn't He? I mean, you are your own God. You make your own rules to how you want to be, and you know, the way you are. You know, free will, as you say. Well, if you got free will, you can do whatever you want, can you? So you are your own God.
Oh, we should have started this in the beginning of the show.
Right.
Well, what about what inspires you the most? You have concerns about all those important eternal questions of life. What inspires you?
Well, life inspires me. You know, whenever I feel down, I take deep breaths and I look around me and I start to, you know, get positive, look up, you know, start to think about everything that is possible, the possibilities, you know, that you can do, and instead of looking down, look up, you know, and it's very easy, isn't it, to look down. You know, you got no money, you're in bad health, things are like not going your way, you've split up with your wife, your girlfriend, you get alimony, whatever it is, you know, but try and look up, because you are your own God. Go for it, you know.
Almighty God is a living man, Bob Marley. We're going to move on to, that was beautiful, by the way. He's the
philosopher.
He's the group philosopher.
Yeah.
I can tell. Thank you. And Muddy, what concerns you, what inspires you?
I'm not going to get as philosophical as Ray, but I think the most important thing for me is my family. I got 2 teenage daughters and a girlfriend, and I'm most concerned about them.
And what about inspiration? Where do you find that?
Yeah, I get inspirations from my kids. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bob?
Well, I'm concerned, like everybody. I mean, yesterday a guy showed me a story about in New York of a 9-year-old girl that stabbed an 11-year-old girl to death because she wouldn't pass her the ball or something. I mean, that is pretty worrying if that's the world we're living in. So that's on the concern, just the way the world is. It's too crazy now. As far as inspiration, I mean, I'm just walking my eyes open more now, and I'm actually getting inspired by things I just didn't see before. I just beautiful places and things. So I'm thinking of maybe relocating out of Britain to France and things, and that's just my personal thing. I need to sort of, calm down, but still do what I do, but not so frantically.
Sounds nice. And finally, the guru of Qatar.
I dropped myself in it there,
Yeah,
right?
I guess you did, Mr. Powell.
I don't know, with the travel that we do, I often think some politicians could actually benefit from getting down on the street level the way that we do and visiting real places on and because we do see it, we get a really interesting viewpoint. And I'm just fascinated with cultures. I'm fascinated with, for example, how like the American culture seems to be to be, in a way, a little bit on the wane, or there's a lot of reevaluation going on in America and the West in general. You know, you've got this, and I'm fascinated in these big structures, capitalism, how Europe is trying desperately to become, you know, the United States of Europe, and all these wonderful old cultures and countries are getting themselves organized. And at the same time, you know, there's this kind of backlash. I mean, the 9/11 thing, you know, the politics. I'm just intrigued on a very micro level, just traveling around on the streets, like in Scranton here, and then on a more global level, when we're traveling around, like I said, we were in Turkey and we saw like an emerging economy there, and they're desperate to be in the Europe thing, and I wonder if that's a great thing for them or not. I don't know, you know, I mean, like Bob mentioned France. I mean, we love going to France, but you can see the culture is being eroded, and it's kind of worrying. It's certainly happened in Great Britain, where we're from. I mean, you know, a lot of the things that we grew up with that were very good things about the culture have been swamped by this globalization. I hate that, because, you know, it's the anti-human, it's dehumanizing.
It's homogenous.
Yeah, I hate that. I mean, but then in terms of what inspires me, I think probably the thing that inspires me the most, I mean, like Muddy, I've got kids, three boys, wonderful kids, children, but also nature. I'm totally inspired by nature. When we spend a lot of time in cities, and if I want to just get rooted, just go into you know, the woods or the countryside, and that just puts it all. Smell the flowers, the trees, you know, everything. I love nature. So, yeah, that inspires me, you know, a lot. You know, which I suppose gets into a godliness. You know, it's as Ray said, everyone's got their own God, or is their own God, or whatever. But you can find God in nature for sure.
I agree.
You know?
I agree totally.
Yeah.